One of the concerns that foreign enterprises have about doing business in China is the ability to protect trade secrets. In particular, prevent your local partner from taking your technology away and spinning it off into his own business and competing with you. How do you think about this?
Well, Benjamin Franklin had a saying, 3 can keep a secret if 2 are dead. Having said that, by all means, when you come into China, you have certain technology. You need to do the right thing and do the smart thing to protect the technology. Keep in mind, the Chinese people, for the most part, are honorable people. They're not going to go and necessarily commit industrial espionage. But the kinds of industrial theft that occurs when employees move from company to company. The Chinese courts are much more reluctant to really come down hard on an individual if there's an absence of paper or physical evidence of movement of information. What is in an employee's head? For the most part, the Chinese courts are going to say that the individual has the right to leverage and use that because the employee didn't take anything. And so when a foreign enterprise comes to China, what is important is to have a complete intellectual property program that is designed to try and keep that information with the company, that dissuades or disincentivizes the employee from disseminating that, especially when they move from company to company, which happens quite often in China. And so I think the most important thing is to have a program that includes, obviously, non-disclosure agreement, invention disclosure agreements, and certain other incentives that I think a knowledgeable consultant or legal advisor can help you put together so that you can minimize the amount of leakage that unfortunately inevitably occurs in every marketplace, not just in China.
I see. How about non-compete agreements? Are they effective? And can we enforce this against a former employee or partner?
Absolutely. I think a well-crafted agreement with clear understanding between the parties in terms of what can or cannot be disclosed or leveraged clearly can be enforceable. But the downside of it is that we may not like what the damages might be. And I think foreign enterprises should be very careful in devising an entry strategy that would essentially account from day one that the technology you bring in over time is going to get disseminated. It is not something that is so insidious that someone would come in with some malice and really want to take that technology and not pay for that. But it is just in terms of people, movement, it happens. It happens in every market. And so whenever you come into China, where people are so entrepreneurial, people are very desirous of improving on existing technology, you just need to have a plan that essentially incentivizes the employee not to make disclosure, incentivizes your former partner not to create another enterprise that will compete with you. And I think that takes planning, and that planning starts not only at the point in time when the factory is established, but it starts at the strategic planning stage. And so we've often advised companies that are in the early stages of development to invite consultants, legal advisors, accountants to be part of the team. Because coming to China, it's not just coming to China. It is preparing for perhaps one of the most competitive environments in the universe, and yet it is also one of the largest. So there you go. You have sort of two ends of the stick, but I think at the end, having a very clear and very articulated policy and plan, you can't go wrong, and it will protect your intellectual property to a much, much greater degree.
Thank you.